Make sure my data cable's in. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Man Knows Football. Make sure you smash up that like button as you come in. Hit the subscribe button as you come in as well. We are still on that road to 10K. Get me? I see some regulars up in the chat. Diego C. Palace, big up yourself. Of course, we've got to share that message. Big up yourself, Siddharth, as well. Jack, big up yourself. At the time, big up yourself. Subscribe to the At the Time podcast. Karan, I see you. T-Boys TV, I see you as well. Big up yourself. Man, like Sean. Yeah, man, so today we're going to do the preview together. Yeah, 100%. Bold Lives Matter. That's got to stay up there for a minute. 100%. Big up yourself, Sean, for the reminder. President of Bold Lives Matter here. No rivalries. Me, moi, number one. You get me? I will never get a hair transplant. That is my, that's going to be my slogan in the running campaign. Karan's at work, can't join in today, unfortunately. Yes, man, like A-Bugs, big up yourself. Coach's Corner, big up yourself as well. We're all good over here, fam. We're all good. We're just getting prepared, getting ready. Just say my usual hellos before I get started and post the link. And obviously wait for a couple of people to jump in. The lateness is greatness thing wasn't really running that much. I know it was like a minute late or something, or 2 minutes late. But, yeah, this is the time I use. First 10 minutes or so I use to interact with you lot. Side Bullet, big up yourself. Gutted by the Champions League result. Absolutely, bruv. Absolutely, that was a shattering result. And it's actually worrying because I followed up the Brentford one. Can we bounce back at Southampton? That's what we're going to discuss today. I actually haven't yet, you know. I haven't yet. I ain't seen it yet. I've been running around all day. I've been busy today. But, yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Respect the Blues. Come on, fam. Yeah, man, not the only one. Not the only one. Love that one. Well, listen, when you jump on, you're gonna talk your thing. Obviously, I'm gonna let you do the championship talk if that's what you wanna do. 100%. I like how you actually, you're definitely doing that. T-Boy, you've got an exception. You've got an exception to this channel, fam. So let's do this. Of course, we'll bounce back. Yeah, that's the spirit, man. Of course. Gonna come back with a win. Our record against Southampton isn't terrible, but still, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful and show some respect. Certainly, way more respect than we did against Brentford. Smash the like button as you come in. Subscribe if you are new. I noticed we gained a few people since I've said that, but I will be posting the link shortly. Obviously, today is gonna be a discussion about Southampton versus Chelsea Premier League over at the St. Mary's Stadium. Obviously, off the back of 2 losses, one in the Champions League midweek, the other one at home against Brentford. Can we bounce back is the main question. And Kovacic as well coming back into this lineup seems to be key, because the fact he was not included in Brentford, didn't start against Real Madrid, was quite shocking. So Kovacic, does he need to come back into the lineup, will definitely be a question. And then at some point, T-Boy TV will be coming on and discussing a bit about the championship. His team is Luton, so I'm going to give him 10 or so minutes to do that. Sean Byrne, can I be a moderator? All right, give me 1 second. I have to switch over to YouTube to do that. 1 sec. Yeah, man, since this guy's keeping me reminded with the Bold Lives Matter presidency, the presidential seat. Yeah, man, you got your wrench now, my bro. Going back to Madrid and kicking them down, need a flawless performance. Well, we need a flawless performance. As Thomas Tuchel rightly said, we've got Southampton next. It's not Real Madrid next. We've got to think about what's in front of us. Southampton are no mugs. Boy, I ain't going to lie to you. Considering of the 2 defeats, we got to be careful going there, man. I'm very, very much concerned about our width and the fact that they've got Livramento on that right side and Walker Peters on the other side, and that seems to be a decent fullback pairing. And it can cause us trouble. We saw what Livramento did to Ben Chilwell when they came to Stamford Bridge. Obviously, he gave away the penalty in the box. Livramento, tricky feet, quick thinking, got inside the Ben Chilwell. I think it was no need for him to make the challenge, but still, he got done by him. So it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game at all. We got to show Southampton some respect. There is going to be, a lot of questions here. Do we go back to a back four? Personally, I don't think we do. I think we stick with the back five. Who do we go with the midfield pivot? I feel Kovacic at this point picks himself. Throughout the season, he's been the best midfielder for Chelsea, in my honest opinion. He's been the best performing midfielder for Chelsea. Who partners him is the question. Jorginho, I felt he only had a slightly better game than Kante, and Kante was poor. Kante was terrible. Lost the ball. I don't know what's going on with him. I understand, obviously, it's Ramadan, so the Muslim players are fasting. But I don't want to. But this is the thing: is that you can't just restrict that to Kante. There's plenty of other Muslim players in the Premier League who are also performing at a top level. So, but I guess things affect everybody differently. I don't really want to make that the sole purpose. Kante hasn't really been at top form for a while. We've seen sporadic performances from him this season. After as not beginning of the season, he was all right. It was good. January onwards, yeah, he hasn't been great. He has not been great. Diego C. Palace with the facts, head to head. Your Chelsea are unbeaten in 8 trips to St Mary's Stadium and have lost just once there in 13 Premier League visits. So this is what I'm saying. Our record there is not too bad. It's not too bad. That gives me confidence, but still, they are no mugs whatsoever. Silver lining in that cloud as well is the fact that Broya will not be able to be selected, and I feel that is their best attacking option, their best striking option is Broya. No disrespect to Shea Adams, Broya's my guy in it, but I'm gonna post the link in the chat. Let me do that. Throw the link in the chat. I'll do it here on YouTube. Link is in the chat, people. So we'll get started. But before you hit that link, remember the rules. Camera must stay on. You get me? Camera's got to be on. Internet reception's got to be on point. I'm not having a stop-start internet. Can't be doing that. So let's go. I see Sid backstage. Sid, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm fine, Guni. How are you?
Ah, at this point in time, not too confident about anything after the last two performances that we've had.
I just wrote you that I don't think I have been at that low after a defeat against a team or something like that. Because I thought we can beat them and they didn't play that well. We were so poor.
Yeah, I felt well, for going back to the Real Madrid game, Benzema's headers, as good as they were, positional awareness was poor.
Poor.
And it's even worse. It's sad coming from our most experienced and who has been our best performing centre back for the team so far, Thiago Silva. We've got
Yeah.
when a player's wrong, they are not immune from criticism, and Thiago Silva completely lost his man. I think both times he did, and then the third goal, my goodness me, twice in a week from Mendy, he's done that, and this one in one of the biggest competitions in the game, and that might have effectively killed the tie. But Southampton versus Chelsea, obviously we go away to St Mary's Stadium. Read out the stat: Diego C. Palace head to head. We are unbeaten in 8 trips to St Mary's, and we've just lost once there in 13 Premier League visits. A very, very good record. How do you feel going into this game? Obviously, no Breuer. He will not be available due to the loan rules. But how do you feel about going into this game?
I'm little bit nervous because the Saints play the same system that Real Madrid played against us. That's 4-4-2. And they might be getting the blueprint from Real Madrid on how to play us. And Premier League teams do press hard. And now we are at our lowest point, and the last thing we need is a team that can press hard and that can cause us making mistakes because we are low on confidence. We are not that high after two embarrassing defeats at home.
No, I know. I feel you. Me personally, I understand that we got shown up against Real Madrid, but I still feel that the back five is the safest option to go with. I just don't. I don't trust the back four system as much as I do the back five.
Understand?
I think, to me, what was proven in that game as well was, look, Reece James had a poor performance, but in the back of my mind, defensively, going forward, we know what he did. He was great, but defensively, he was very, very shaky. But I think, again, that's down to him coming back from injury, because he's been very stop start, stop start. He's been in the team, out the team, through injury, in the team. I'm going to put that down to injury because I've seen him have way, way better defensive performances than that. I'm going to trust this game. He's going to come back into a bit of a better form, and therefore not isolate the centre back who is going to be next to him. And I think that's going to make a whole bunch of difference, especially at the fact, like I mentioned earlier, they have Livramento and they've got Kyle Walker-Peters. Obviously, they've got other threats like James Ward-Prowse, etc. But I feel that they're going to focus on the wide areas, and I feel a lot of teams are, because that is our glaring weakness. Against Real
Yes.
Madrid, we left our inside forwards isolated. You know, Pulisic was found 2-on-1 several times in that game. I think Southampton are going to be aiming to do that and counter on the wings, which they're very capable of doing. So, do you think that back four system will be able to nullify that, especially with the form of both Jorginho and Kante, who both had stinkers against Real Madrid?
I don't think back four is the safest option. I would go with SP at right centre back and give him instruction that you don't have to bomb forward that far. You
Right.
have to stay at your line. You have to maintain the line with Thiago Silva at the back. Rudiger can have his freedom of going forward, but you and Thiago Silva should remain back because Shai Adam also has good pace on him.
No, it's true. So, going into this game, is there any changes you would make from Real Madrid in the lineup?
Surely, I would bench Kante for this game. I would give him his mental rest and all. I would start Kovacic and Jorginho and play Alonso on left wing back. And also, I would like to play Ziyech
Yeah.
at right wing.
Do you drop Mason Mount from the team entirely, from the starting 11? You drop him to the
Yes,
bench.
definitely.
Yeah, fair
After that
enough.
performance, I have no love lost for anyone.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. I can't even blame you for thinking that. To tell you the truth, Kai Havertz, for me, the only positive yet again in a bad bunch, but I actually felt he showed some kind of, ability, some kind of hunger to actually want to get something for the game. Obviously, it's a no-brainer that he starts, but the reason why I bring him up is because he took his chance in the big game yet again. But then when you look at the other
Did
guy
you
that's on
saw
the bench,
Lukaku? I was screaming that loud. It was around 1:30 a.m. and I was screaming like a madman. The way he missed that header.
unbelievable. And then, you know what made it worse, right, was the fact that you saw two just absolute top draw finishes in the first half. And then Lukaku, who had the easier of the three opportunities.
It was the easiest header. No one was around him.
No pressure.
He had clear sight of goal. Courtois was on opposite side. He had
Nacho
clear
was
sight of
completely
goal.
ball watching. He lost his man completely. They
Yeah,
were he had no pressure around him. All he had to do was guide it in that far post, and somehow he hit it wide. But that summed up Lukaku, though, didn't it? It just sums up the levels.
that's the difference between world-class striker and a regular striker. What Benzema did was world-class. He found a space, he used it, and his headers were way more tougher than what Lukaku got served.
Exactly. And then just going back to that point, because look, in games of this quality, sometimes chances come few and far between, which is where I'd really judge a striker, because a striker can have nothing to do for 88, 89 minutes, maybe even 90 minutes, and then
Yeah,
come off the minute in extra time or stoppage time, or even in that game, they take that opportunity without fail. Benzi done it 3 times, although the third one was gifted to him. But the other two, he had a lot of work to do when he did it. So that's definitely the show of a world class striker. But this weekend, we've definitely got to step up the performance. I think we will bounce back. I don't think Tuchel's going to have this at all,
yeah.
especially from his reaction in the press conference after Madrid. He was not happy at all. But what are your predictions for this game, for the
I
game this
just don't
weekend?
want a bounce back. I just don't want a bounce back. I want a battering. I want to destroy Southampton so that we can see in Real Madrid's eye and say them that we are not done yet.
Yep,
We
because
are
yeah,
coming. Because it's a two-goal difference, and if we score the first goal before them in around first 30 minutes, the game is on.
yeah. Right now, this is a very important win, because look, it's not only Real Madrid. Yeah, obviously Real Madrid. The FA Cup semi-final coming up.
Yeah,
Then after
against
that,
Crystal
we've got
Palace.
then after that we've got Arsenal. So those are three
Yeah.
very difficult games. So we definitely need to get a win this weekend. Nothing less than 3 points. You have a score prediction?
Yeah, I think we are going to win 3-1.
3-1. Very positive score prediction. But Sid, thank you very, very much for joining in the show, man. Appreciate you. See you again next week, bro.
Yes.
100%, man. Respect, my bro. Jake, you are next. Thumbs up if you are ready. All right.
Hey,
Jake, how you
hey,
doing, my bro?
hey, my man. Good to see you again. I was a bit of on travels the last few weeks, hence why I missed last week.
Oh, no, that's okay. As long as how did the travels go? Everything went well?
Good, went good, went good. Traveled a little bit other part of the country in South Africa. Went to Cape Town, my old home city. So, bit of catching up with friends as well, including a Real Madrid friend of mine, actually.
Oh, I imagine that was an awkward encounter after that game. Do you know what I mean? But
Man.
yeah. Do you know what? Just quickly run me through your thoughts of the Real Madrid game before we get into the Southampton versus Chelsea game.
Jeez, man, yeah, the last 2 days been getting banter galore all the way from everybody. But yeah, we were poor. We were very, very poor. The worst possible way to react after even the Brentford game, for that matter. So yeah, and the third goal was just like, yeah. I actually thought that we were in a situation where we scored a few minutes, not too close to halftime, but at least got a goal in the first half. I thought, okay, listen, we got a chance to pull back a second goal, maybe at least, and then literally in the first minute of the game, it was game over.
No, but that third goal, do you feel that after that's gone in, do you still feel that there's something we can still go through to the semi-finals after that? Because we've got to go to the Bernabeu and get at least 3 goals now and keep a clean sheet, which is going to be very difficult.
Jeez, it's going to be difficult, man. Near impossible, actually. If we do make that comeback, I think you can see that as one of the great comebacks in recent history in the competition. But I don't. I'm very, very 50-50 on it. Depends on how we're going to do tomorrow. That's a big question, I think.
This is actually an interesting question. Would you rest have a so he's charged up to bag an early brace against Madrid when we press the life out of that pensioner Madrid team? Now, here's the unfortunate thing about Chelsea. We do not have the luxury of choice, because when you look outside of Kai Havertz, we have absolutely nobody or nothing I can look to that's going to replace his goals. Lukaku, you can see his
Mm.
confidence is on the floor, shot to pieces. Can you rely on him in front of goal right now? Absolutely not. And we need to get three
No, no.
points in the Premier League. This is the position that we've put ourselves in. We need to get ourselves 3 points in the Premier League. But let's get into the Southampton versus Chelsea game, St Mary's Stadium. We've had a decent record. Not going to read it out again, but they can be dangerous. They can be dangerous. Two players that I have mentioned: Livramento, Kyle Walker-Peters, also James Ward-Prowse, which also means, because you know how he's a set piece specialist, we can't be giving away fouls outside that area. What formation would you go with against Southampton personally?
I'll go for the back. I'd go for the back five. And the thing with James Ward-Prowse, of course, at the moment, he's probably one of the best free kickers in the league at the moment
I think he
on
is the
form of
best.
them.
I think he is the best. I actually think he's the best.
He has to be. He's for me up there. And the problem is, I think, is we cannot concede a set piece close to goal tomorrow. We cannot, because it's just going to be. It's going to be. He's going to love it. That guy. So I'd be wary of it. Although Southampton's recent form, I think the last 4 or 5 games, they haven't been that great at what we've seen earlier on in the season from them. So I think we'll do the job tomorrow. I think.
And with Southampton as well, they're not fighting relegation. They're not
No,
fighting
no,
for
no.
European places, so they're just in a safe spot, really. And
Yeah, yeah,
psychologically, Chelsea should be aware of this, which to them it should be like, right, these guys, being realistic, they don't have anything to play for this season except just remaining safe, which it appears that they are. We've got to take
yeah.
advantage of that and get the 3 points. But just really just going back to this point, who would be your front three in this game?
Definitely Havertz picks himself, obviously. And I'll mention a point about him, what I thought just about him now. And then the other two, I would say, is Pulisic and Ziyech, I would say, to start with him up front tomorrow. I would drop Mount, unfortunately, as much as I like him. And I'm not going to put any English bias on him at all, but he has to be dropped tomorrow. I reckon he'll play against Madrid, I think. But tomorrow, it's a different story. I think we have to put Ziyech on there, give him good game time, and see how he does, and maybe even plays himself a starting spot against Madrid. So that's what I would go for. And the thing I actually want to mention about Havertz as well is, I just thought about it now, is we can't get too over reliant on how many goals because he pretty much carries the team at the moment. And the problem is, if he doesn't have a good game, what are we going to do then? So it's great to see him score, but I don't want to get us in a situation of Hazard. What I think it's 2018, 2019, where he scored 50% of the goals. We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and in our recent history, especially, we've been doing that quite a lot. But luckily,
yeah,
we do have another goal threat on the pitch. Ironically, he's coming from the right wing back position. But we got to take
yeah.
them. We
True.
got to take them where they come. But Reece James, I mean, shocker defensively at Real Madrid, but excellent going forward. No doubt, is
Yeah,
he
yeah.
gonna be? He has to start this game this weekend. I actually fancy him to get on the goal sheet as well. I think he's gonna.
Okay.
I think him coming back into into the team against Real Madrid was again early after injuries and not having a run of games might have affected him mentally and his defensive positioning and that he needed to get his rhythm back in the game. Gonna wipe the slate
Yeah,
clean with him, and hopefully he can start hitting the ground running again. And that right side, to be honest with you, especially if he's paired up with Ziyech, is I think where most of the goals are gonna come from. But what's your score prediction for the game?
I said early on. I think I commented on Eunice's video early on. I said 2-0. I think Havertz will score, but it's a good point you made about James. I'd say 2-0, James and Havertz to score in this one tomorrow. And I think James will have a good game. He's, like you said, coming back from injury. I think it's just in terms of sorting out his consistency. But I think that's a thing, especially with players coming back from injury and with even a prolonged injury he had. So I think I have a good game. Havertz will have a good game as usual, show up again. So I think 2-0, the two of them to score.
Yeah, man. So that's the second caller that I've had that said we're gonna be winning the game. Jake, thank you very much for joining in. I've got a couple of more people that are waiting
Thanks, man.
backstage.
Yeah.
No, but I appreciate you jumping on, man. See you next week, hopefully.
Yes, yes, and good. Hopefully we get the win tomorrow. Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, man. But I might see you in the watch along. I'm gonna do watch along tomorrow, so maybe I'll see you in
Yes,
the
yes.
comments. All right, then, man.
Cool, man. Cheers.
Peace. These lights, LED lights, are absolutely frying me. Give me 1 second, people. Killer. Yeah, man, just had to dry up because these LED lights are killer, and it's a hot day in New York today, and the AC still hasn't arrived. You get me? But listen, smash up that like button, smash that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Interactive live, the link is in the chat. Make sure you hit it if you do want to jump on here and give your thoughts on the games. And remember, the rules are you gotta have Chris internet, aka good internet, good connection. I can't have the stop start, that is long. And you must have your camera on while you are backstage. But at the time podcast, you are next, and afterwards I will be having Coach's Corner, aka Hanno, on the pod on the screen. But where's my man gone? Jay, you there? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Good to go. What's going on, my
Man,
bro?
Goonie. Good. I was actually trying to see if I can go on a little bit later. The worst time we just came on right now. If I can hop on like in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Hanno, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to jump on.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's no problem. Hanno, you ready? Okay. Hanno, what's going on, mate? How you doing?
Fine, and you, Goonie?
Yeah, not too bad. The audio's much better today. The picture's much better today. I ain't gonna lie. But we're gonna come back to the Real Madrid game first. Just give me your thoughts on that, because I know you wanted to discuss that, but I was busy during the week, so I want to give you your chance to speak about that, bro. Talk to me.
Okay, so Real Madrid line up with a 4-3-3, and Valverde would link up in midfield. So he would drag Aspilicueta in, and then there was a space next over Aspilicueta, and then Rudiger needed to cover that space. That's why the back line shifted so much to the left. And Reece James didn't come back to defense. So that's the reason why they could so easily penetrate and um by get past Christian.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So
That's good observation. That's very good observation. And also on top of that, with the spaces there, obviously a world class striker like Benzema is always going to exploit that space. Not even just him. Luka Modric, I thought, done very well in between. Just in front of defense, in between the midfield. And then that pass he obviously played as well, just opened up our defense. I mean, these are like elite players that we're playing against. So these mistakes, we can't afford to make them. But in terms of the Champions League tie, do you feel it's over, or do you think we can still get a result at the Bernabeu?
I think it is all about the Southampton game. If we perform and the tempo is a lot better, I believe we can win that game at a Bernabeu, and I believe we maybe will go through on extra time or penalties. But if we score early and the Southampton performance is top notch, I think we will go through. But I just want to ask you something. Do you think Havertz, if he was playing for Madrid right now and they played against Chelsea, how far do you think we will get smashed?
If Havertz
If
was in
Havertz
that
and
Real
Benzema
Madrid
was
team,
there.
yeah, it
Yes.
would be a serious problem, because the thing is that both players, they're so good at exploiting and finding space that they would just do what we saw in the game. They'd just be pulling our defense completely out of shape, pulling our midfielders out of shape. So yeah, it would be a scary thought, but thank goodness Kai Havertz is a Chelsea player. So is there any changes that you would make from the Real Madrid game in this game tomorrow against Southampton?
Yes, I would go for a 3-5-2, and I would play three in midfield. Those three will be covered because I think Southampton will try to get us in midfield and expose our defense, especially with Reece James going back and forth. I think they will try to exploit it, and Livramento will try to exploit Alonso. So I think we might work with Havertz, and you can pick and choose between Pulisic and Ziyech, but yeah, so Kovacic and so Masjez take turns going forward and helping Jorginho. So yeah, and in
What's
defense, I don't think I won't make a change, and so yeah,
what's your score prediction?
1-4.
You think it's gonna be 1-1? We're not gonna
I
win.
don't.
Oh,
Yes,
Hannah, not too confident this weekend.
no,
The
I don't
first,
think
the
we will win.
the first caller to say that they don't think Chelsea are gonna get the W, but we move. Hanno, you've actually started your own channel, which I'm very, very happy about. I have to link that in the description actually, but let the people know where they can find you, man.
Um, my channel name, Coach's Corner. But if you can't find it, just go on Twitter. My name is Hanu Joseph, and you will find it. And I put my link so many times in, so I think you will find it. And yeah,
All right,
so
people. How about this?
tomorrow,
Hmm.
yes, now go on.
People, how about this? After this life is done, do something for me. Come back to this stream. Go to the description and I'm gonna put a link on his channel that's gonna send you right there. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you support Hanno. You get me? I've done it for several of you. So this time round, make sure you do that. So there you go, Hanno. We're gonna have quite a few people that are gonna subscribe to your channel. Yeah, but big up yourself. I've got several people that are waiting backstage. CL Flair, you will be next. Jetto345, you will be next. And then Isaac, you will be next. At the time podcast, I still don't see him. But Hanno, thank you very much for joining in, my bro. CL Flair, thumbs up if you're ready, bro. Yeah, man. First time caller into the show, CL Flair. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good, bro. Yo, it's so crazy that this time last year we were celebrating a semifinal win against this lot. And I remember seeing you outside the football factory. It was all love, and I really appreciate that. And Troops was there too, hating obviously, but it was a good time. But now looking like sad times is giving me 15-16 Chelsea vibes, bro.
Yeah, it's looking shaky at the minute. Let's just quickly talk about the Real Madrid game. In fact, I'm gonna let you give your thoughts about it because quite a few people did want to discuss it yesterday, but I was filming back again, so I couldn't. So just give me your thoughts on the Real Madrid game.
I just I don't know. I just was a little distraught at what I was watching. That Mendy mistake, like I was thinking about it while I was laying down in bed. I was like, I just keep replaying it in my head. Like I can't believe that happened. But he's never been really too good on his feet, like passing the ball like that. So, but again, making mistakes like that is just it cost us. Obviously, it cost us. That kind of killed the momentum.
Yeah, twice in 1 week as well is kind of mad for me still. Um, I'll say this though. Is sweeper keepers, that's the risk that they take coming out so far away from their goal. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen more than once, possibly twice, 3 times in the span of their entire career. My thing is with Mendy though. And quite a few others on social media have said that they kind of want him pulled away from the firing line and to bring in Kepa. I don't think that's the answer. I feel if he was a much younger goalkeeper, yes, then you do that. But my thing is this: psychologically, I feel when he makes a mistake, he doesn't often recover from it quickly enough. So based on that, that's based if you agree with me or not. Do you think Mendy should still retain his place, or do we bring in Kepa for a little bit?
Nah, I just feel like he needs that confidence booster. So hopefully he holds a clean sheet against Southampton. If we were to bench him, that's just going to totally drain whatever little confidence he has left. So I feel like we have to keep playing him. He's our number one for a reason. And honestly, if Kepa's in goal, I just see Southampton scoring a screamer on this insult to injury.
We're in a bad situation, in it, when it comes to like team selection, bruv. We're in a
It's
bad
crazy.
yeah, man. But although I'm not gonna be too harsh on Kepa. I think this
Yeah, I
season in
agree.
particular, when he stepped in, he's come in, he's done his thing. He's done all right this season. But for him to be relied on long term, I'm not too sure. But what changes? Well, in fact, you know what? Before we get into that, big up Angel for the super chat. Appreciate that, throwing up the blues. Angel is actually from Washington Heights, from here, long time friend.
Nice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
from
man. So
Jersey,
big,
so
so big up yourself, Angel. Thank you for that super chat. You're from Jersey. Which part?
I live in Linden. So the neighboring town is Elizabeth, and then
I know,
Newark.
I know, I know. Big up the Jersey massive. Big up the Jersey massive. You're out there with the mandem still. But
You already know.
what changes would you make in this lineup from Real Madrid, if you would make any?
I would like to see Chalobah play and replace Christensen. I'd keep Thiago. I'd keep Rudiger. I'd put Alonso left wing back. Reese got to start for me. And midfield is tricky though. I would like Kovacic to start, to be honest, along with Jorginho. Not definitely not Ruben Loftus-Cheek because I feel like he's gotten chances and he's kind of like hasn't taken them. You know, he's never gonna. I feel like he's never gonna find that form he had with Sorry. And then up top, I definitely want Ziyech to play, Havertz as the false nine, and then probably Pulisic or maybe Timo. Yeah, I'd probably go with Timo just to see what happens. But we have so much depth. It's just like it doesn't make sense why we're getting these results, but it is what it is.
You trust Timo in that lineup because he'd be coming up against Livramento most likely, and I reckon he pockets him.
I like to see how it goes. I like Tuchel a lot because he's not afraid to make changes at halftime. So if things aren't working, we toss in Pulisic and then we'll go from there. But I'm really counting on Saturday to turn things around, man. I can't 3 L's or even a draw. It's gonna hurt me.
Yeah, we cannot lose this game because what's coming afterwards. We've got the FA Cup semi-final, we've got Real Madrid, then we've got Arsenal. 3 difficult games. They're not going to be easy, and we need to get a win from somewhere. Winning breeds confidence. I'm a strong believer in that, and we got to get the points tomorrow. But what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
Oof, I'm counting on a 1-0 or 2-0. I don't think we need a clean sheet. I'm counting on the clean sheet.
My hope of that clean sheet is only if we don't concede too many free kicks close to our area because of that James Prowse threat. If we are able to somewhat pin back their fullbacks and not allow them to venture too deep, because you see Livramento with him is, as we know, he's very tricky and skillful with his feet. He can beat a man. We saw him commit Ben Chilwell. He gave away the penalty at the bridge. He's a tricky player. He's definitely going to be a tricky player. So I'm going to respect Southampton. Personally, I still think we're going to get the win. We've got a good record against them. But we've definitely got to respect them. So the 1 or 2-0 is a respectful scoreline. I'm thinking, I agree with the clean sheet because their best attacking option, who is obviously a Chelsea player, Broya, will not be available for selection. So hopefully we can keep a clean sheet based on we don't make too many defensive errors like Real Madrid. But CL Flair, do you have a platform or anything you need to plug on here?
Nah, no platform, bro. Just wanted to show some love. You feel me? I've been following you since you been doing the thing with troops, and I just try to make the channel bigger and bigger. We need more um, Blues fans in the East Coast, and I feel like you're representing us well. So feel me,
I
show
appreciate
love
that, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for jumping in, and hopefully we'll see you next week, my bro.
for sure, bro. Take it easy.
Peace. Jetto345, are you ready, my bro? Yeah, let's go. Yes, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Well, I'm very, very nervous about tomorrow's game. I bruv, last two performances have given me little to hope for. Although
Yeah,
I'm just going by previous, like you heard, I'm going by previous records at St. Mary's Stadium. The fact that Broyer's not going to be available and the fact that we need to bounce back. And Tuchel, I know, has made this clear to the boys. So that's what's giving me some confidence. But before we get into that game, let me know your thoughts on the Real Madrid game because I know you give very good detailed explanations as well. So I'd like to hear your thoughts.
right. So with Real Madrid, the first thing I want to say is I know we were like absolutely terrible, and in my title I said masterclass from Madrid, disaster from Chelsea. And despite that, to be honest, the game could have easily ended like 2-2, despite being totally outclassed for me most of the game. Now, the reason why we probably lost that game tactically was because they just overloaded us in midfield. Modric, every time that guy got the ball, he had acres of space and it was driving me crazy. And the problem with that was, yeah, so you got the front three. They're onto Courtois and the two centre backs. You've got the wing backs onto the likes of, I think, Valverde, Carvajal, and then Mendy. So then what happens is Kante's pressing up high, leaves Jorginho exposed. The problem with that is, guess who's always in free space? It's always one of Casemiro and Cruz. If Kante goes to Mark Cruz, oh, guess what? Casemiro's in space.
Casemiro's
Gives it to
open.
Modric, roams. He just roams, bro. And then Valverde's in space too. So that midfield, like that day, just totally outclassed us. And Benzema, it's Benzema, innit? I mean, the hat trick is unbelievable. I know people
Yeah,
are onto Christensen for the first goal and stuff like that. You know, Vinicius Jr. got in behind him. But to be honest, I don't know which other defender would have dealt with Vinicius like that. Vinicius was just absolutely brilliant. And on top of that, people have got to remember, I know we beat Real Madrid last year in the semi-final. And the key to that was obviously the midfield was key. We didn't let them have the ball. We didn't let them control the game. But first of all, this is a well and improved Real Madrid side. And second of all,
facts.
let's just keep things real. Carlo Ancelotti is a better manager than Zidane. Now, yes, Zidane's won three
Facts.
Champions Leagues in a row, but Carlo Ancelotti is the Don.
Still
Like, you
better.
want to talk about exactly, bro. Like this guy's philosophy, his tactics have been he's been able to adapt to the game for years because he's been managing for years as well. And he looked at the problems last year and he dealt with it. So look, we were terrible, they were great. We'll see what happens in the second leg. But like Tuchel said, we've got to focus on Southampton and hopefully we put in a good performance there.
No, definitely, definitely. So going into this game this weekend, are there any changes that you would make from Real Madrid?
Look, Kovacic has got to start.
Hundred
For
percent.
me, that's just simple. Kante next to him, for me, because tomorrow the key thing is, do you know what it is about Southampton? Even before we faced Real Madrid, I was actually worried about this game. I don't like us playing Southampton. Like Southampton this season against the big six sides have done really well. Like
Facts.
they faced Man United twice. Man United twice, they didn't lose. They faced Spurs twice, they didn't lose. They faced Man City twice, they did not lose. The only games I think they lost to convincingly was I think they went away to Liverpool and lost 3-0, and they went away to Arsenal and lost 3-0. This season, we faced them. Yes, we beat them 3-1, but let's keep things real. Up until that red card, it was a sticky one.
It
You
was a
know, Ben
sticky
Chilwell
one.
conceded the penalty.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Ben Chilwell conceded the penalty. It was 1-1. And if it wasn't for that Ward-Prowse red card, we probably wouldn't have won that game. I'm not going to lie. You know? So at the end of the day, this is a team that's going to bring, its press, intensity, energy, and tactically, Ralph Hasenhuttl is just a really good manager as well. So in terms of changes, like there's not really many you can make because what you want to drop Pulisic, for example, but you're not going to put Timo Werner in seriously.
You
Like,
can't.
come on.
Yeah.
So for me, he has to stay in the team. Kai Havertz stays in the team. If Ziyech is fit, I would play him, but if not, stick with Mason Mount. Reece James takes the wing back spot. you're gonna have to put Marcus Alonso back in and have the back three. That's what I think Tuchel will go with. But I was maybe thinking about playing a back four. I know, I know people don't like
Risky.
that. It's risky, yeah, I know, but I just think we should because tomorrow I just don't think in this back. I don't think we have an attacking plan, an attacking structure right now in the current system we play 3-4-3 or whatever. Sometimes I've seen us in the last couple games. We've looked clueless. Although to be fair, we played Brentford in a back four, and again going forward we look clueless as well. So do you know what? Whether we play back three or back four, we could look clueless regardless. But I was just thinking back four, maybe just play more attacking players if ZX fit. But because he's a doubt, I think Tuchel probably will go with the back three, and that's probably the best option to do.
Yeah, my concern as well is that in that back four, if you've got Reece James in there, you saw how much he struggled to get back, and I don't know if that's
Yeah,
because
that's
he's just fresh off injury or whatever. We can't allow these centre backs to get isolated, especially off the back of what we saw. Now, obviously, I know there would be more midfielders in that, but even what I saw from Kante and Jorginho, boy, it
I hear
just
that.
wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't looking too good. So for me, the back five is more. I feel a lot more insurance with that formation.
Yeah,
But
way more protection.
yeah, exactly. But give me your score prediction though.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm going for a 1-1 draw because I just I just do not think we're gonna bounce back. My heart goes with a 2-1 win, but this game for me is very important. If we do not win, and if we do not win convincingly, if we don't put in a good performance, you can forget going to Madrid and getting a result.
And getting
Forget it. If
anything.
we can go exactly, if we go to Southampton tomorrow, put in a performance, score a couple goals maybe, then we can go into that Real Madrid game with a little bit of hope. Maybe we can. So yeah, 1-1 draw for me.
No facts. Yeah, you kind of answered my last question. I was going to ask you what you thought about our chances going through against Real Madrid are, but you've kind of explained those. But before you leave, make sure you do plug your channel and let the people know where they can find you. I'll link that in here in the description as well, but let the people know.
Obviously my channel is J2O. Go check it out. Like Goonie said, he'll put it in the link in the description below. And follow my Twitter as well at Jetto345. And yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, Jetto, thank you very much for jumping on, man. Hopefully, I'll see you again next week. Very good analysis, as always, man. So definitely check out his channel. I'll leave the link down there in the description, as well as Hanno's one. So people, make sure you hit the subscribe button when you see that after the video. Big up yourself, Jetto. Isaac is next, and then at the time podcast, I will have you on. Isaac, thumbs up if you're ready, bro. Isaac, you hear me? Isaac, are you ready? Cool, all right. Isaac, how you doing, my bro?
To be honest, I've been better.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad thing. Hold on, let me just answer T Boys TV. Yeah, come backstage soon. I've got one more after Isaac, and then I'll have you on. But yeah, Isaac, sorry about that. I just had to
No,
answer
it's
that
no
question.
worries, no problem.
But yeah, let's start off with the Real Madrid game like I've done for everybody else. Give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so to be honest, we at the start of 5-10 minutes, we were not up for it. You could see they had us on the midfield. We had only two players, like Kante and Jorginho, and you could see Modric, Casemiro, and Cruz, even Valverde tucked into the midfield four, and we struggled with it. It's like when we pressed, the Valverde would come into the midfield and overload Jorginho alone. So it would be 4 against 1. That's when we lost, I think. And I don't like this pressing, I think, because we don't have the personnel for that. It's not like City Liverpool, You don't have, I say, Lukaku, he doesn't press, he's not good at pressing, he's just jogging. I think that's my opinion. And Mr. Mount, yes, he's good at pressing and running a lot, but on the ball, he's not.
Yeah, that
he's
was
not
all he
creative.
offered, didn't it? Just the pressing
Yes.
and just good work off the ball, man. He needs to offer
Yes.
a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, of course.
I agree with Matisse in where he says that the level has slightly dipped from last season from Mason Mount, and he really needs to start
Yeah.
picking up some form. In terms of defensively though, because that's the one area all season where we've been able to say, regardless of anywhere else on the pitch, defensively we've got it. The past two performances, are they a concern for you going forward?
Realistically, before the international break, we will do it fine. All under the sanctions, but I don't know what's going on. I can't explain it. I don't know if it is the whole selling process, or I don't know. I can't explain. I don't know why we're performing so badly. I hope we just turn it up against the Southampton and Real Madrid, because we are so inconsistently
Yeah, it's Do you
in
feel
in
do you
attack and defense.
do you feel confident? This might be a stupid question, but do you feel we can get a result at the Bernabeu?
If we, it's like Thomas Tuchel said, if we play like that, no chance, no,
No
uh,
chance.
no. And even if we win against Southampton, it's only one game. So you have to perform a consistent level in 5-10 games to know if you're ready to play against one of the best teams in Real Madrid. But yeah, you just have to see what happens.
What changes would you make from the Madrid game going into the Southampton game, if you would even make any changes? That is.
I would stick to the same back four, but that might leave us more exposed. But what choice do we have? I think we're more exposed either with Breda back or fourth back. I don't think that makes much difference. But I would drop Jorginho because I do not trust him in two midfield, maybe three, but Mason Mount does not drop in as the midfield three. You see in 3-4-3-5-2 or 3-4-3. He just sticks up there. He doesn't track back. But I will play Kovacic and Kante. And on the attacking threat, I would play. We don't have anyone else, but we have to play Mr. Mount because who else? What choice do we have? Hudson-Odoi is injured. I think Lukaku is injured, but we have to hope to see tomorrow if they can play. But I think CH and Havertz has to play, so of course, there's no doubt about that. CH, Mount, and Havertz maybe. That's my attacking three.
Havertz doesn't come out of the team for me. I know he's been playing a lot of games, but we're our only goal scoring threat out of that front three. We have to play him, and I'm still going to maintain that Reece James is going to be our other main goal threat over on that right flank. But do you think? Because again, I put this question to the rest of them. Livramento on that right wing back side. Then you've got Kyle Walker-Peters on the other side.
Yeah.
What do you think the answer is to keeping them quiet tomorrow?
To be honest, I don't watch a lot of Kyle Walker-Peters. I don't know much about him, but we do know about Livramento. Do we have a buyback clause? Do you know that?
Yeah, we do. It's 40 million.
Oh, would you bring him back?
I mean, I would personally, I'd bring back Tino Livramento 100%. He's still a teenager. There's still a lot for him to learn. Reece James, as you see, like you can't rely on him on even just a 38-game season. We play way more than that because he gets his injuries. So he will get his games. Will he be able to challenge Reece James for that spot? Who knows? Only time will tell. I think he'll be a very, very good option. A Cobham boys come up through the club. You get me. The adaptation period is not going to be as long as it would with another player. So I think there's just benefits from it. Only con is we're paying 8 times the price we sold him for, which is stupid in any kind of business. But what can we do? Our hands are tied.
Yeah, and I think if we have to track back, I think maybe CH or Havertz have to help out the fullbacks. Even if Alonso, I do not trust him defensively, so I think Pulisic has to help him out. But the whole problem is when we get a counter, it's Pulisic and CH quick enough to get up that field, as with the rest of the team, to the pace to fullbacks.
We'll also be looking at N'Golo Kante and Kovacic, which I think will be a huge benefit having them two, because of Kante, we know on his day defensively, there's no one better than him. Kovacic can do the defensive work pretty well. Always has a yellow card in him, I will say, but still does the defensive job pretty well. So in terms of providing that extra bit of support on that flank, they can also chip in as well. So I do agree with that pivot of Kovacic and N'Golo Kante. Before we go, what's your score prediction?
In my head saying it's we lost, maybe a 2-1, 1-0, but my heart say different. I think my heart say maybe 1-0 win. I don't know. I hope so. But before you end the stream, but I feel so sorry for Thomas Tuchel. On his personal life, he went on a divorce, the whole Lukaku saga, dissensions, everything has gone against him since he come here to Chelsea Football Club. I feel so sorry for him, because if I were him, I would leave the club. I know, because it's just so much problem here. I would not feel well if I would be here. And we have to ask a question about the scouting on our Chelsea Football Club, because you see Werner Lukaku does not. I think they just saw the score. I said goals amount, and the Bundesliga in Serie A, and you just go, yeah, he fits right in our team. It does not work like that. You have to see what his attributes are. Is he good at technique on the ball? Can he dribble? Can he link up well? It's not only about goals. And that's what I think they all looked at. That's my problem. We have to get new recruitments, new scouting appointment.
Yeah, I mean, someone tweeted the other day, and I think, I can't remember the account, so apologies to whoever it was, but they said this summer they would take a proper Department of Football or football or someone who would oversee the recruitments. The word has just completely left my head right now, but somebody competent who would oversee the recruitment phase. I feel that's also key, because with the current people that are still there, obviously it remains to be seen whether they're going to stay. They haven't done a good job over the past couple of years, so I would definitely like to see that myself.
Yeah, for example, you see Morata, Higuain, the list just goes on and on
yeah,
and on.
It's just a whole bunch of BS. Even Timo Werner, what we're seeing now, Saul, it just doesn't make no sense. But listen, I've got several others that are backstage that I've got to get on. But thank you very much for jumping on, Isaac. I hope I do see you again next week, man. It was good talking with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Peace. At the Time Podcast, you're next. Then it's AJ. Then it's Vib. Then it's T-Boys TV, and then I'll be calling it quits after that. Give us a thumbs up if you're ready at the time. Yeah, man. Back.
Yo, Gunny, how you doing today?
Take 2. We're good, my bro. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Your thoughts of the Real Madrid game before we get into this Southampton game at St. Mary's Stadium.
Man, like many times I've said throughout this week, dealing with people reminding me about the game, it was just poor from Chelsea. We lost on every side. Kai, like you said, was the only saving grace, and even he wasn't enough. Missed too many chances. I mean, the whole team did. Lukaku, you already know. Silva even missed an easy header where he didn't even have to jump. But I mean, I know Reece got beat a lot, but compared to, or considering how his knee is, I think he kept up fairly well. It's just Christensen. How are you going to leave the most important man in all of football right now wide open? But yeah, I mean, we learned, and now two defeats later, hopefully we can bounce back against Southampton. But you can't take this thing too lightly.
Hold on one sec. Who said Thomas Tuchel should leave Chelsea? Nobody on here said that.
Oh.
I know I didn't. I'm just making sure nobody said that and I missed it. But I don't think anybody said that on the stream. Just make it, or unless it's in the chat somewhere, someone's trolling or something. But I didn't hear nobody saying that. But yeah, man, before I forget, make sure you do smash that subscribe button if you want to, and smash the like button as well so we can get seen in that algorithm. But Yeah, like that Real Madrid defeat, especially the third goal, that was really the one that was kind of like the knife in my
Oh,
chest. It's just made this, if we are to even go through, it's just made it like a wonder mission to do so. But
that that was the kill. That was the kill. I mean, can I ask you something? Who do you blame more for on that one, Mendy or Rudiger? Because I get mixed answers. I say that was more Mendy's fault, but that's just me.
nah, I
I
think
mean,
it's
what's your
Mendy.
take on
I
that?
I think it's Mendy. Mendy, he passed. The way he passed that ball, it was like he touched it. He didn't pass it with any kind of confidence or conviction. Do you know what I mean? He was supposed to get a proper contact on that ball, made sure that it gets to his man. If you make a decision
Hmm.
right there and you can see that you are about to be pressed, you must make sure that pass makes it. I don't care. There's no excuse. You must. If there's any doubt, like they say when you're 4 years old, kick it the fuck out.
Thank you. I mean, considering like I'm a goalie, so we're taught two things. Don't ever pass across your goal. He did that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
two, you don't know anything. Send it up or send it out.
That's it. Yeah,
But
exactly. That's
if
another
you're
one.
gonna
Don't
give
pass
a little
across the
baby
goal.
touch,
Yeah, it was just
and
like
I'd rather
literally.
him just overpower that shot or overpower that pass.
That kind of told me that, look, I don't think Mendy's the worst goalkeeper with the ball at his feet. I
Oh
disagree
no.
when people say that he's not a ball playing goalkeeper. I've seen him play some fantastic balls from and start counter attacks from goal. So I'm not 100%
Mm.
going to agree with it, but it's just sometimes is when his confidence is shot, you can see that he doesn't want possession. He doesn't want possession. He
Right.
doesn't
Because
want to, yeah. He
those
doesn't. He's
nerves
scared
get
of
to me,
making.
man.
He's scared of making the mistake. And apparently Isaac is the one that said it. Not gonna lie,
Mm.
that's if he did say that, I must have missed it. I must have been interacting in here, but I definitely would have said, "Yo, Isaac, bruv, we got to talk about that a little bit more." You get me? But we're not gonna throw Isaac under the bus and do that to him. Valued callers are all of you in the show. It's his opinion at the end of the day, if that's what he truly thinks.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm gonna ask him about that next time he comes on, 100%. But are there any changes that you would make from the Real Madrid game going into the game tomorrow?
Um, formation. I would take out Christensen, of course. Put in Shalaba. Let see what happens. Have Alonso be on the left side. Uh, Probably not a popular opinion, but I would have the two midfielders with Kova and Jorginho, and then Pulisic, Kai. And I don't know if Ziyech is hurt, but it was said that like he missed the training with Lukaku today. So if he's good to play, I'll start him. If not, Mount. But yeah, that would be my formation for that game. But a lot of changes need to be done for the Madrid game going back, like even having a three-man midfield, like a 3-5-2 almost. But yeah, that's my take on or preference for Saturday.
I'm gonna throw in the curveball here. I'm just interested to know.
Hmm.
Do you think Harvey Villa deserves a chance?
Well, if we plan to keep him, we plan to have him be eventually in our starting 11 when he as he gets older and develops. I mean, why not? But is it the right time to mess with like our strongest 11? I wouldn't mind having him as a sub for Kai. Lukaku, just keep the bench warm. That's it. Like yeah, I'm done. Like he's had his chances, 100 million for that type of performance, and he goes back how many games now?
Those are
We
the
need him
kind
to
of games,
score
yeah,
in
and those are the
Champions League.
times you see, despite everything that he's been saying and that he's done all season and the poor performances, that was the game where he had the opportunity to start on a clean sheet. Because had he had scored, even at 3-1, had he had scored at that point, the tie's completely different. But he didn't do what a world-class striker is supposed to do, which is why he's not one. But Southampton tomorrow is going to be tricky. You did mention Christensen shaking
Yeah.
defending. I think his partner on that right side, Reece James, was just as much to blame. Left him isolated several times. Whether that's down to him not being 100% fit or not, I don't know. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's down to the fitness, and we're going to see a better defensive performance from him tomorrow. Certainly not going forward. I had nothing to complain about. I had a big involvement in that goal, squared it off to Jorginho before he made the assist for Kai Havertz. So Reece
Oh yeah.
James as well, another goal threat for us tomorrow. The last two have said 1-1 for their scoreline. How do you feel about tomorrow? What do you reckon?
Um, Optimistically speaking, I think a 2-1. Um, I mean, I'm expecting for Chelsea to win, but James Ward-Prowse is probably going to score a free kick. Um, and then hopefully our offense can just click and just bounce back from this. Because if not, if we go to a 3-game losing streak, I don't know how long it's been since Chelsea's seen a 3-game losing streak, but it's gonna be a close game. It's not gonna be a blowout. Like everyone's keeping it close, but I think also that comes from like seeing how we've been playing, and it's just the kind of like the negative thought about it. But this team should be able to win 2-1. If we drop any points whatsoever, um, yeah, that top four race is looking scarier every every game now.
Yeah, man, it is. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking scary, but if we bounce back with 3 points, then I think that can only be a positive, and it will set us up well for the next three games afterwards, which are going to be difficult: Crystal Palace, Real Madrid, and Arsenal. So we definitely need to bounce back with a win. Before you go, plug your ting. Let the people know where they can find you.
YouTube at a time, the at a time podcast. Same with Instagram. Just started Twitter, the at a time PC. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just been trying to get people to watch your channel, subscribe.
I
I had some
appreciate
like
that.
send the link to as many friends as possible. Oh man, dude, what you've been doing for all of us, man, it's the least we can do.
No,
Get
I
this man
appreciate
10K,
that.
please.
Yeah, let's get to that 10K. You heard the man, and definitely subscribe to the Added Time podcast. We'll add the link down there in the description as well. But thank you very much for jumping in. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
People, I did say I would only take three more calls afterwards because I am strapped for time. I've got Vib, AJ, T-Boys TV, Nippon. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to take your call, but if we make these three quick, I might be able to. But Vib, let's get you one real quick. Let's make sure we try and get this moving along quickly. But if I get to Nippon, I absolutely cannot take any more than that. I will do an interactive after the game tomorrow. So it will be watch along, then I'll do a post match. Then after that post match, I will do the interactive live. So if you missed today, there's an opportunity if you jump on tomorrow. Vib, thumbs up. You ready? Let's go.
Yes, bro.
How
How are
you
you?
doing, my bro? Yeah, not too bad, my bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, as good as you can be after that Champions League game. But yeah, nah. Hopefully we can bounce back, man. That was a long day this Wednesday.
Yeah, it was. Do you want to give us your thoughts on that and what went wrong?
Yeah, man. Just individual mistakes, isn't it? Like we saw what Mendy did on the third goal. Previously discussed it just now. I think even between Thiago Silva and Christensen, the marking for Benzema, obviously the guy is elite. Like I'm not gonna lie. The way he's been performing this whole season. Obviously, he's been on top form in contention for the Ballon d'Or for sure. But yeah, we made it a bit too easy for him, in my opinion, with the marking and whatnot. So just individual mistakes, man. Lukaku can't be missing that chance when it bounced to him in the box. Kai, I thought, played well, gave a good account for himself, but overall, it's just weren't at our best, man. Weren't at our
Yeah,
best at
poor
all.
poor performance. Absolutely dominated in that midfield. Hanno quite rightly pointed out. Valverde in that right wing was a huge surprise to me. In fact, I couldn't even because I didn't have the Real Madrid shape in front of me. I was sitting
Yeah,
there on a live time. I'm like, what is this formation? And then when I actually
yeah,
saw it, I was like, oh, so he's gone with him on that right wing to drop into that midfield, and they just
yeah.
absolutely bossed the midfield. That's where the game was won, in my
Don
opinion.
Carlo,
As
man. Don
yeah,
Carlo.
as well as errors on our behalf, particularly the third goal from Edouard Mendy, which we've discussed already several times on this, man. It's absolutely criminal in a game like that, and it might have thrown away the tie. But
100%.
obviously, we've still got Southampton in between
Mm.
before the second leg. But do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think it's something that can be turned around at the Bernabeu? Or do you feel it's too little, too late at this point?
Do you know what? That third goal, I think, for me, kind of killed it. Maybe like because getting a 2 goal margin at the Bernabeu is going to be mad to even take it to extra time, and then even then, like on top of extra time, maybe drag it to pens. Who knows? I think the tie's done, man. I think it's done. I'm not having any hope. Maybe a 5% chance. You never know. Because I remember in 2012 when we won it against Napoli, we was 3-1 down, if I'm not wrong. Lavezzi and that had absolutely buried us in the first leg, and then we came back. But yeah, I'm not holding any hope. I'm not gonna lie, we ain't got the Didier Drogba's and whatnot no more. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
I think the tie's pretty much done, man.
I think realistically, any chance of us going through, we'd at minimum had to keep a clean sheet as well as scoring 3 goals at the Bernabeu, which is
Yeah, yeah, facts.
I mean, when I look in the squad, it's just like you said, we don't have that personnel anymore. No Drogbas, no
Nah,
Essians, no Lampards,
Ashley
no John
Cole.
Terrys, Ashley Cole, no real leaders like that stand
Yeah,
up and
man,
make themselves counted for mistakes like
100%.
this. Because that's the thing, is with that Chelsea team, this 3-1 result wouldn't have been as bad as with this current
Nah,
Chelsea team.
no
Because
way.
even we got Patton 3-1 at home, which wouldn't have
Yeah,
happened then in the first
I
place.
don't think it
Yeah.
will. We had that
Yeah.
JT, Ashley Cole,
Yeah, that's not
even
happening.
David Luiz in that tournament played like a monster. I remember even now.
This is what I mean. So like, I don't think that's even happening. Real Madrid ain't getting 3 goals against us with their man in that team,
Facts,
but we ain't got that no more, unfortunately. And it
100%.
just seems to be with this Chelsea team that, one or two players seem to play in good form, not
Yeah.
instead of like the whole team in general. How have I left 2 logos
Everyone's
up here?
patchy, man. Everyone's patchy. No one's really on a
Yeah,
consistent run. Even with Ziyech, like he had that really good patch up and down. Kai's just come into it now, but if we're keeping it real, although I think he's been a bit overly criticised for a lot of the start of the season, he wasn't doing what he's doing now. Even though I don't think he was playing terrible, so everyone's just patchy, man. It's what it is.
that's a fact. It's a fact. But based off that, I mean, off that Real Madrid loss, is there anything that you change in the lineup going into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, there's obviously only so much rotation we can do because of the options we got available. But I think, yeah, I wouldn't start Lukaku even still, even on a rotation thing. I think Kai has to play if we're looking to seriously win the game. Um, Maybe rest Mount, play Pulisic, even though Mount I thought was shocking in the Real Madrid game. Play Pulisic on the left. Ziyech, I don't know. I know the person before me at the time podcast mentioned Ziyech might be injured or
Might be
whatnot. So
hurt.
we have to see what happens with that. Maybe rest Thiago Silva as well. The guy's been played so much international duty, 2 games since he's been back. Trevor Chalobah comes in. Maybe play Asby as one of the centre backs. Reece James has to still play. I think he's just coming back from injury. The minutes will only help. I think Alonso left wing back as well, and then yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to
Yeah,
see, man. I'm not optimistic about it for sure.
facts. You make a good point about Thiago Silva, and it's absolutely criminal that Tuchel's been forced to play a 37-year-old centre back 2 maybe 3 times a week, and
Yeah, man.
consistently when he should really be used sparingly. But this is where we're at
Facts.
Chelsea Football Club. We're paying for our criminal recruitment policies at Chelsea and process.
Oh
So
man.
this is where we are. But what's your prediction for tomorrow's game score wise?
Oh, score. Yeah, I think a lot of the other guys said it as well, isn't it? Like realistically, if we're saying it could easily be a 1-1 or a draw or something like that, even though Southampton ain't been on great form. But I don't know, man. I hope we can pull it out. Maybe a 1-0, keep a clean sheet for once, which you haven't been doing too much recently.
Yeah, and it
But
seems like when we concede one, we concede another nearly
facts.
immediately afterwards, man. So
Yeah,
once we capitulate fast. So I'm
facts.
concerned about that. Honestly, I am. But do you have a number? Any scores?
I don't know. I'm saying 2-1. I'm saying 2-1 Chelsea.
Chelsea. All right, good. All right, we're going back to winning ways with the predictions. Appreciate that.
Hope
Hey,
so.
Vib, I've got 2 more backstage. I do
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
try
yeah.
and squeeze. I want to try and
Of
squeeze
course,
Nipple
of
in
course.
before I close up. I don't want to leave him waiting in vain. So let me
Mm.
get T Boys TV on. But
Yeah,
thank you very much for jumping on. Hopefully, I can see you again next week, my bro.
of course, bro. Appreciate it.
Peace, my guy. Hey, T Boys TV, you ready, my bro? Give me a thumbs up if you're good to go. Why do I see a Man City flag back there now? What's going on here? I thought you was a Liverpool fan. What's the Man City flag doing up there now?
Nah, it's basically for my stream earlier. I
Okay, makes
I have
sense.
all the things for the watch-alongs and etc. That sort of thing.
That's,
So
I mean, if you put it that way, that's actually pretty cool to be honest. But how are we doing, man?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Still kind of grieving off the two massive L's that we took earlier on in the week. But you know what? Thought I'd do something a little different with yours. Obviously, you're a Luton fan. We'll come on to Luton in a minute. But Liverpool, talk us through your performance and how you feel about your chances of winning the Champions League, because you seem to be on the other end of the emotional spectrum of Chelsea fans right now.
Now, I'm not going to lie. Going into obviously, I went to the Luton game, but seeing it, like seeing the highlights and that, I was very surprised with how easy it was. Like, no disrespect to Benfica, but I know we've got the quality, but I didn't expect it to be that comfortable. I thought it'd be similar to Inter Milan when we played them in the not the second leg, the first leg, where we get 2 late goals. I thought, they'd make it very hostile. Obviously, I watched the game they played against Ajax, the first fixture. And yeah, I was very surprised with how easy it was, if I'm being totally honest. Obviously, Kanate got a goal, a very good goal it was. And yeah, we just cut them open. And to us to go on and potentially win it again, I remember I actually went on the COP TV when I went to Liverpool, and I actually said, I think we're going to do it. And that was ever since we beat AC Milan, even though we was already through. So
Do you reckon this year's your year?
I think it is. I think it is.
Brother, I tell you, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you, and I don't think I've even said it on this channel, right? Looks like Chelsea are going out, so obviously the bias is gone. I think Liverpool would be my favourites to win this competition, to tell you the truth. I don't even think City beat you in the final. If
No.
they get to the final, I don't think they beat you in the final. Liverpool,
And I'm not even saying it to be biased.
Yeah.
I generally don't think any team will want to play us over 2 legs.
Nah, even that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I can't look beyond you guys, and it's the fact that if you have ever been to a European night where you've got to play Liverpool, obviously the final's not going to be played at Anfield, but even still, like, it's different. They are literally the 12th man. It's completely different on a European night, and I've been lucky enough to experience that, to be honest with you. Great footballing experience to any football fan. If you haven't been, you've got to experience European nights over at Anfield. But let's talk about Luton. Your guys over in the Championship. How did you lot do? I'm going to let you take the floor for this one, man. You tell the people what you feel to tell about the Championship. I'm going to be getting educated as well as everybody else in there. Go ahead, bro.
Right, so obviously midweek we played Peterborough, and looking at it, they're rock bottom. Even Derby, who have had points deducted, Derby are above them. I expected us to win. I expected us to win pretty comfortably, and that's no disrespect to Peterborough. I know they're fighting for their lives, but even teams like Hull City, who have got nothing to play for, went there, won 3-0. Middlesbrough went there the game before and won 4-0, and we're a very similar team to them. But it was just very disappointing. 1-1, it ended up being. We should have lost, if I'm being totally honest. After their goal, they scored in the 87th minute. After their goal, they had another chance to win it. And they hit the post as well after that. So we was very lucky to come away with that with a point. The best thing that happened that game was the fans. There was 4,000 Luton fans. So that was really the best thing. Like I said, we deserved to lose that, and now we've put ourselves in not a very good place, because we have to win our next 2 games now, and we've got Huddersfield away on Monday, which is mad. It's basically like City and Liverpool, but not for the title. It's more to go into third, and then after that we've got Nottingham Forest at home. And we know the form they've been on.
That's gonna be a good. Are you doing a watch along for that?
Nottingham Forest, I might. Huddersfield I'm actually going to. So
If you're gonna do a watch along for Nottingham Forest, let me know. I might actually jump in on that one, bruv. We can just run that together.
no worries.
Yeah,
That's not a
100%.
problem.
But you're still optimistic about your chances coming up to the Premier League next season, or you're gonna try and humble it a little bit and not jinx it?
Yeah, I don't really want to jinx it because I come on with a lot of confidence. We're definitely going to get playoffs. And now, due to that Peterborough game, it has put us in a very sticky situation. Like I said,
Yeah.
the next 2 games, we've got Huddersfield, who I wouldn't say they've been overly convincing recently. You look at Hull City away, they narrowly won that. And they were quite lucky in that. And then Bournemouth, who... obviously a good side, we know that. But recently, they haven't been overly great as well. And they went there and won 3-0. And I was talking to Bournemouth fans that day, and they weren't even confident going into that. So we can do it, but we have to do it. Do you know what I mean? There's no messing about. And then Nottingham Forest. I mean, the away fixture, we should have really beat them. On the penalty that we had, their keeper actually stepped off the line. Whether the guy would have scored it, the rebound, the other penalty, I'm not too sure. I think he would have because his penalty record's really good. But it's a tough one. Honestly, it's a tough one. Like I said, I think I said it on the last time I went on this, Steve Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
He's just an exceptional manager. And yeah, it's going to be tough. They got great players as well. We know that. So it's going to be an interesting one. A very interesting one.
No, 100%. But I am looking forward to. I hope you're doing a watch along because I do want to actually do that and catch some championship vibes. But where can the people then find you? I'm gonna link up to your channel in the chat. But for people that might not come back, this is where you'll find them.
T-Boys TV is where you can find me. Obviously, if you want to follow me across any of my social media accounts as well, they are on there as well. I also have another channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. If you could subscribe to that as well, it'd be much appreciated. And thank you for bringing me on, Goonie, again.
No, man, thank you for jumping on, bruv. It's you lot that I owe the thanks to. Without you lot, we've got no community, so I really appreciate that one, my bro. But definitely follow T-Boys TV. After this stream, at some point, I'm going to put the links of people's channels down there, so make sure you come back and subscribe to the people. Bless up, my brother. Nippon, you are next. And you know what? To be fair, I did say Nippon was going to be last, but AJ, I forgot about you because you've been coming in and out. So I'm going to allow you after Nippon, but that is it. That is it. Yeah, please, people, don't take my kindness for weakness. That is it, though. Yeah, but Nippon, let's do this. How are you doing, my bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. You're doing some chicken shop connoisseuring, are you?
Yeah, Pepe's. It's a London thing.
Yeah, I miss home. I need to come back soon. I'm planning on it. I'm definitely planning on it. But Nippon, Real Madrid, let's start with that game, bruv. I need to get your feelings on that. What went wrong? What do we change against Southampton? Talk to me, my guy.
What went wrong?
Yeah, I have to ask the obvious questions, unfortunately.
Did you see that shit show?
Mate.
You know when that third goal went in, I wasn't even mad. You know what? I just laughed. Literally. Like Lee Gunner, whenever he does watch-alongs and they concede. That was literally me after the third goal. Like, it's not the time of laugh like, ha, ha, ha. It's basically like, if you don't laugh, what do you do? Honestly.
Yeah, just cry yourself to sleep.
Exactly. I didn't want to burst any blood vessels. So you know what? I was like, you know what? Just laugh.
Like, listen, it was one thing. It was one thing, like, against Brentford. The comedic happenings of the first goal, and just saying, you know what? It just sums up that day. It's never gonna happen again. But then to see the third goal just go in the way it did. With Edouard Mendy's mistake, it was just deflated, man. And let's face it, we're gonna need an absolute miracle to get through to the next round of the Champions League.
Did you see the tweet I put out on my Twitter?
No, I must have missed it, bruv.
Some deluded Chelsea, some deluded fan from our fan base said, I'm calling him deluded because I don't think we're coming back. He said he put a picture of Kai Havertz saying masterclass at the Bernabeu. So I quote retweeted him saying if we manage to turn this tie on its head, I'm gonna take a random subscriber or a random Twitter follower that I know personally to a restaurant of their choice.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen, mate. In my opinion, when I look at the players in this squad, and you know, the lack of minerals in comparison to squads that we've had before, I just can't see where it's gonna come from. Now, I'm not gonna say it's impossible because stranger things have happened in football. So I'm never going to say never, but I will answer this. Am I optimistic going through? Absolutely not. I think right now we've
Neither
just
am
got to
I.
focus on the FA Cup and finishing third. And speaking about finishing third, we have to start that with a win against Southampton this weekend. What changes do you make this weekend, if you even do make any changes?
You know what? Just bench Christensen. This was his audition for El Clasico, literally. Now,
It
after
was.
Xavi saw that shit show, I think he should be on the phone saying, we don't want you anymore.
Yeah, he said
He's still,
no.
in my opinion, he's not better than PK. Even at PK at this age, I still think he's better than Christensen.
Christensen, I think Christensen's a very good centre back. I think yesterday, I will say he was left isolated as well quite a bit. Reece James wasn't able to get back. I think that is down to his fitness as well. I've said that several times. But even still, man, like the way Christensen couldn't keep his balance, he was literally playing like Vinicius had grease rubbed all over him, couldn't get a hand on him, which just like, it just wasn't a good look all
You
round.
know,
Even our leader Thiago Silva positional awareness wasn't there.
I
It was concerning.
honestly thought Thiago would go in for it, and you know what? I'm going to do this for the team type of.
I think I don't know. I think after the first goal went in, we still hadn't fully recovered. Hence the second goal that came not too long after that. But Southampton, they're going to be a different test. St Mary's Stadium. One of the callers quite rightly said when they came to Stamford Bridge, it wasn't an easy occasion until Ward-Prowse was sent off. How do
He's
you go?
he's a danger man for them.
Very huge. But how
And
do you
how
feel
he's
about tomorrow's game?
I'm in two minds about this. Either it could go really right or really wrong.
Boy, I do have to agree with you.
I,
The one
I'm God.
the one
I've said
saving grace in this whole thing is Broja can't play.
yeah. Could you imagine that if that wasn't a rule? You'd make
Then
a mockery of us.
then I'd be worried. And it's not just him. There's Tino. There's also the other guy, Kyle Walker-Peters, who's been doing very well for them. They've got several threats. Shea Adams isn't even that bad, to tell you the truth. He's not a terrible player. So they do have several threats in that team. It ain't going to be easy. What I will say is I think I would risk playing Marcos Alonso in that left wing back position over Azpilicueta, and I say that because in terms of going forward, and we're going to need to get goals. Azpilicueta, I feel, on that left side is limited. Obviously, he can't cross with his left foot. He's going to have to come inside on his right foot to make the crosses. So I think naturally that's going to make the game more for him, operate more on the inside rather than outside. So I'd rather Marcos Alonso on that side going forward. Defensively, we're going to need as much help as we can get, which is why I'm agreeing with the Kovacic and Kante pivot.
Yeah, and I feel that should have been our pivot going into Real Madrid because Kovacic knows he would know how to play against Real Madrid, being a former Galactico himself.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. But listen, for the interest of time, I've got to keep this one short. I've literally got probably 5 minutes left before I've got to run. But Nippon, plug what you have before you leave. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Nippon with 4 eyes, 4 eyes and 3 U's. You can find me on Twitter at NSports93. One second. You can find me on and that's my official YouTube Twitter. You can find me on my private Twitter at the Nipun Sharma. You can find me on YouTube at NS Sports TV, where I'll be doing a podcast on Sunday. And you can find me on my other YouTube channel where I do all the non-related YouTube stuff. Sorry, non-related football stuff. A British lifestyle blogger.
Okay, you've heard where to find Nippon, and hopefully we'll find you here again next week, giving us your valuable opinion. But thank you very much, Nippon, for
Aren't you doing
joining
one
us.
tomorrow? Aren't you doing one tomorrow?
Yeah, no, that's right. I am. Thank you for reminding me. I am doing a interactive live for after the game tomorrow. So thank you very much, Nippon, for reminding me. I
Yeah.
would have remembered afterwards, but right now it just slipped my mind. But thanks for the reminder. Thanks for joining us, Nippon. AJ,
Yeah.
give me a thumbs up if you are ready to jump on. AJ, how you doing, my bro?
Yo, Goonie, my bad about earlier, man. My
Nah,
phone.
you're good. When I saw you jump back in, I remembered. I was like, oh, I remembered you was here, so I had to wait for you. I wasn't gonna let you just wait in
Yeah,
vain,
now
my
my
bro.
phone died. But yo, thanks again for the platform, man. Appreciate it.
Nah, no problem, man. Thank you very much for joining. Again, this is a community that every single one of you make. Without you lot, there is no channel. So this is your floor, my guy. If you want to start off about Real Madrid and your feelings about that game, you're more than welcome to.
Oh man, I know everybody has who has came on here feels disappointed. I know you feel disappointed. Um, I'm sure the players, the coaches that feel disappointed. It was a terrible performance. Like let's just keep it honest. It was a terrible performance. At the same time, I do think that Real kind of beat us in moments. Like Benzema had his two moments, and then Mendy had his moment, which gave Benzema his third moment. So we kind of beat ourselves up. We kind of beat ourselves up a little bit. Um, I kind of I wasn't mad at the lineup. I understood the lineup. It was our 3-4-3, same thing that we always do. Just as Pili on the opposite side, Christensen. I was never the biggest fan of Christensen at right center back. I think he's a great central center
Central
back.
centre back, yeah.
He has the skill, he has the reading of the game. On the right or the left, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. You got to be a little bit more, reading of the game. Out wide is a little different. So I'll kind of I don't know why has Tuchel abandoned Aspili at right center back. I know Reese been out, but I feel like right center back was perfect for him for this game, especially against Vinicius.
And you know what? Just even like when you give his track record at right centre back, because he operated there under Conte, and I
Yeah.
thought this was sort of his evolution into
Yes.
his later years. Like we're gonna
Mhm.
transition him into that sort of right centre back role. But I agree with you, bro. I think
Mhm.
he can be used there. He should be used there, and he's got like because if you could face it, if you can use him as a wing back. He's got more than enough mobility as a
Oh.
right centre back to operate there. So
Aspili's
now
prestigious at right center back, man. He's prestigious at right center back.
I've got to agree with you, but I think with that as well is the fact that since Chilwell has been injured, it's who do you play on that
And
left side?
yeah.
Yeah, and that times where you could have played, or even the right side, because Reece James, remember, hasn't
He was
always
out,
been fit
yeah.
this season, so he's had to be used where he's needed to be used, not necessarily where he's best at. So I think that's been the case with Aspi and several other players. But speaking of that, going into the game this weekend, are there any changes that you'd make in the lineup for Real Madrid?
Oh man, it's crazy that maybe for the last like 4 seasons, the lineup has been like just all over the place. It's been very unpredictable, the lineup for the last 4 seasons, because we don't really have that consistent goal scorer, and we don't have that consistent central midfielder who's gonna like control the game. Like who wants to control the team?
I feel we need a DM of that exact
Something like that.
description.
Yes.
Yeah, that can do that as well.
Since Matic, and again, I keep saying, Conte is a amazing player, but you get the best out of Conte when you have a certain profile of player next to Conte. And I still think we don't have that player, and I see a lot of people want to move on from Conte, but I still think he has more to give. But for this weekend, I kind of I think we had the international break. Before the international break, we had a lot. We had a bunch of games. We won our games, but I think players also played during the break, so I think they need a rest. Especially we have that Real game on Tuesday. I know we kind of out of it, but we got to give it a go. Just for some type of respect. But so I want to see Tuchel rotate this weekend. And when I say rotate, I mean rotate. Like I know everybody's like, oh, this is a must-win game, but this is probably the last chance that we can like really rotate before like everything is literally a must-win game. So I think Lukaku should start. I think Loftus-Cheek should start.
Ooh.
Kovacic should yeah. I'm going that way, Goonie. I'm going that way. I think it's necessary, bro. I think I don't know if Chalobah is injured still. I know he's been hurt for a while, but I think we need to make like some good changes and just switch up the team, man. We need some new energy, for this game at least. So that's my view. We need to switch it up a little bit just for this game. I know it's a tough situation, but we need a reset, man. That is getting stale. It's getting kind of stale out there.
I think as well tactically, Tuchel has to get it right from the jump because I think it's the first time mentioning it, but several times I feel he's got it wrong in terms of the tactical selection. Now, it brings me to a very good comment that is made by Shane the investor. Goonie, Kante is a defensive player. No need for Kante to play that high. He should not sit in front of the defense. You see why I pulled up this comment? How many times against Real Madrid did we see Kante as the last man receiving a ball in front of Thibaut Courtois?
Oh my goodness!
You see, once every while it's okay, but when he's consistently that guy, it's just like what's going on here?
Something is fundamentally wrong. Yes.
Yeah. Nah, but big up Shane for that comment, bruv, because it actually did make me think. But in terms of result this weekend, what are you going with your prediction?
Man, I've been watching Chelsea for like going on like 16 years, maybe. So I'm not used to seeing Chelsea lose too many games in a row. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with my heart and say that we're gonna pull out a nice 1 or 2-0 victory. Maybe I could see us giving up a goal, but I think we're gonna win. So I'll say 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, man, another W. I think I said 2-0 at first, but then, the more I started talking about the game and the more now I'm thinking about, I'm gonna say 2-1 as well. I still think we get the win, but I do think that we concede. I'm not gonna take Southampton for mugs, especially when you've got a danger man such as James Ward-Prowse, who's such a good set piece specialist as well. If we give away fouls around that area,
problem.
It could.
What do you want to see though as a lineup? Like, what do you want to see,
bro? My lineup. I'm gonna trust Mendy in goal again. I'm gonna go with the strong trio centre back: Thiago Silva, Christensen, and Rudiger again.
Thiago needs a break, bro. He
does need it. Yeah, do you know what? You make a good point. What? Do you know what? Since you made a good point,
game.
Christensen will move to the centre. And Chalobah comes into that lineup. Thiago sits down. You made a very good point there, actually. Reece James has to start for me because I think he's outside of Kai Havertz. He is our biggest goal threat in our team currently, and I base that on his form. On that left side, I'm bringing back in Marcos Alonso. I've stated the reasons for that already. My midfield pivot has to be Kovacic and Kante. That's going to be my two.
Kante might need a break too. I don't know. He got taken off at halftime.
He got hooked at halftime. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if it was injury or if it was tactical. If he's fit, that's going to be my pivot. If not, then Jorginho comes in to replace Kante. My front three.
Kai needs a chance, man. He needs a chance, bro. He needs come on. We still have 10 games or so left in the season.
I just feel that this isn't the game because you see the fact that we're coming back to back of 2 L's.
I hear you.
We need guarantees. So listen, I said earlier, I wish we had the luxury of choice where we could rest Kai Havertz, but unfortunately,
he needs one too.
Outside of him, you see now this is the problem with Kai. You pull him out of that attack, it looks so different,
Different,
bro.
yes. That's why I told you the last time I was on here. I want to see Kai and Lukaku. I want to see them together. I want to see Kai and Lukaku and give me somebody else. That's who I want to see, man.
We might see that, or
I
we
want to
could.
see it.
Yeah,
I
you
want to
never know
see it,
with
bro.
Tuchel. He might do the whole 3-5-2 thing.
I
You
know
never know.
Lukaku missed that chance. And oh my gosh, look when he missed that chance, I literally like my heart sank, bro.
It
My
was
heart sank.
unforgivable to tell you the truth.
My
It was
heart sank.
unforgivable to tell you the truth, especially the fact that he was under zero pressure around
Oh
him.
my lord.
There was no excuse for that. It was almost as bad as Mendy's mistake
You
for me,
gotta
to
head
be honest
that
with you.
back the same way, not across.
Bruv, you've got to score that. Either way,
You
whatever
gotta
you're
score. You
doing,
have to
in that
score.
occasion, in that moment, you
Mhm.
have to score that. With that price tag as well, you got to score that. So that's
yeah.
poor.
Yeah.
But around, outside of Kai Havertz on that right side, I mean, if Ziyech is not fit, he would have been my first choice for this game. But if he's not fit, then we're gonna have to go with Mason Mount. On that left side, it's gonna have to be Christian Pulisic. So that would be my lineup for tomorrow's game. I'm
This,
going with
this is why I want to see a 4-3-3, Goonie. This is why I want to see a 4-3-3 because I'm tired of seeing Mason Mount in that attack. He's just not that guy in the attack, you know? I'm sorry.
right,
He's just
certainly
not
not right now.
it. He's
Certainly
not
not
it.
right now.
Um,
Yeah.
I would love to see like a Kova, Jorginho, and like Loftus Cheek type 3 midfield. Just to, we need something different, man. We need something different, bro.
I'll be honest with you, AJ. I'm coming very close to the point outside of the FA Cup where I'm saying I just want the season to end.
Yeah.
I want Conor
exactly.
Gallagher to come back. I want Breuer to come back. I want to see what happens with this new ownership, who we're going to bring in. Are we still going to be looking at Chouameni when they come in? Are we still going to be looking at the Usman Dembele's? Are we still going to be looking at shifting out Timo Werner and these guys? This is what I really want to know, because one thing I can tell you, although we're going through all this negativity now, one thing I can tell you is we're not far off.
We're not.
Yeah, we're 100%.
It's just a cloud
far.
right now. It's just a cloud right now. But we need a center back. We might need 2 center backs, but we definitely need a center back this summer as well. Because Thiago Silva is playing more this year than last year. And we just can't depend on him forever,
I think Koundé still comes in. I still think Koundé comes in.
Hopefully.
And I also think, and listen, if this doesn't happen, I will fume. Levi Colwill must step into this fold some way, somehow. Especially if Christensen is going and Rudiger's going. Colwill has to step in. He's got to step into this squad. We've got to integrate him.
Yep.
But AJ, I'm gonna be late, but it's cool now at this point. AJ, thank you very much for joining in, man. Really appreciate
tomorrow,
that.
man.
Yeah, man. See you tomorrow for the live. If you're
Big
gonna
up
jump
Chelsea.
on after the game, yeah, all day
Positive
long.
energy, bro.
Yeah,
Positive.
That's what I'm on. Keep that blue flag flying high, man. Hey, big up every single one of you that jumped in on this interactive live. I will be doing another one since we will be playing tomorrow. And another thing to those that will be watching the live stream. Yes, tonight I'm going to make sure that the clocks are working, the scoreboard is working. I want to make sure everything is on point before tomorrow. No more hiccups, you get me? But thank you very, very much for joining in. Before you leave, please make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you are new on your way out. Also, help me share the video. Let's get the views up on this. Let's let other people know there's a community here where fans' opinions are heard. Like, I'm a football fan, you lot are football fans. This platform is for you to speak your opinions. I do want to expand this to more than just Chelsea. I do want to do other Premier League teams. You've even seen with T-Boys TV, championship teams as well. Anything to do with football, I would want it here. But these things are a process. They take time. But the more we build, the more subscribers we get, the more capital we get into this, the more I can invest into this and make this a bigger project. And get the vision out there. But big up everybody that's here on this journey so far. The next step is obviously 10k. That's what we're focused on. We're on the road to 10k. Help us get there. And also after this, if you are tuning in straight afterwards, leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. No opinion shall be forgotten on this Man Knows Football channel. I'm Goonie, the Bald Lives Matter president, as you all know. You get me? Self-appointed and all that. I wasn't voted in, but there's nothing no one can do about it. You get me? But Man Knows Football, subscribe, road to 10k, smash that like button. We will catch you here tomorrow. Watch along post-match and interactive live will be going down tomorrow. So it is a busy day. Big up all of you and bless up.